Good morning. Today I want to talk to you about a common injury I see with athletes, and that's shin splints. I often see it a lot with runners and a lot of athletes who were just starting a training program. And today I got a text message from an excellent athlete who is a Division I basketball player who was complaining that she's developed some shin splints over the last couple days and was looking for some things that she can do to help relieve the pain. And it got me thinking this time of year, it's preseason camp. Athletes within the next week are going to be starting football camp and field hockey camp and soccer and some other sports. And I often get messages from parents saying that their son or daughter has developed some shin splints and what are some things they can do. And I want to start by saying that if you have shin splints and if you have severe pain and you've had this for more than a few days, then you need to see a doctor. Definitely not a doctor. I can't diagnose anything. So see a doctor first, and then if after that they give you some exercises that you can do, I'm going to show you some things that I would recommend for athletes who are experiencing shin splints. A lot of times, my belief is that shin splints are developed from overuse injury. That's the first thing. A lot of athletes aren't used to the volume of their training, especially in preseason camp. You know, coaches expect their athletes to run a lot the first few days or first few weeks of camp, and the athletes' bodies are not used to that. So I think an increase in volume is one of the first causes. Two, athletes who tend to heel strike when they're running can develop some shin splints. So that's another thing we want to look at. And then the third thing is I think an increase in stress, as my feeling, can lead to some shin splints. So what I'm going to do today is just show you some exercises that you can do to hopefully alleviate some of the pain. Some of the first things, obviously when you get shin splints, you have a lot of pain all the way up here through the anterior tibialis, which are the shin, right in this area. Some of the exercises I'm going to show you are going to focus on this area, but it's also going to focus on the bottom of your foot. You have to think and you have to realize that even though you have pain right here, the problem could be coming from your foot, it could be coming from your hip, but most likely the area that is causing the problem is from your knee down. So these exercises are going to focus on that. So one of the first things that you want to do, one of the things that I like to use, again, is a product from tptherapy.com. It's the TP Massage Footballer. If you don't have this, you can use a dumbbell, okay? But this obviously works really, really nice. But again, if you don't have one, you can use a dumbbell. What you do is, normally you would do this barefoot. But what you do is just want to step on the roller and just nice and easy put as much force as you can take into the massage roller. So just nice and easy. Try to break up some of those adhesions on the bottom of your foot. I always like to start with the bottom of your foot because a lot of the problems will work up the kinetic chain. So roll here for a minute to 2 minutes, and this is something that you should be doing every day anyway, but just work the bottom of that foot. If you find some hot spots, just hold it and dorsiflex your foot, which is roll your toes forward or bring your toes back. So that's one exercise that's really good. Another thing that you want to do is you want to sit down, and your feet can plantar flex or they can dorsiflex. So dorsiflex is pulling your toes towards your shin, plantar flex is pushing forward here. So a good stretch that you can do is you put one foot up, top of your foot down, and just lean back and then raise your knee up. And what that does is that stretches out this whole area. Again, on some people it's going to be extremely, extremely painful. So the first thing you want to do is ice. But some of the stretches and exercises that you want to implement is push down, and you're going to feel a good stretch all the way through. Come on back, stretch that out. Just like that. If you want, you can put both feet down and lean back, and you're going to feel a really good stretch all the way through your shins. Okay, when you come back, point your toes up and see if you feel a greater range of motion all the way through your shins. The next exercise that you can do, you can take either a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. I prefer a lacrosse ball, but if you don't have one, use a tennis ball. These will cost you a couple $. What you do is, this area tends to be very, very sensitive in athletes, even without shin splints. So obviously it's going to be an increase in sensitivity with shin splints. So what you want to do is, you want to go to the left of your shin bone, tack it down, and just go through some range of motion with your ankles. So just up and back, you can do 5 to 10 reps, whatever you like, somewhere in there, and then just move the ball down. And even on me right now, I don't have shin splints, but this tends to feel a little bit sensitive right now. So you just want to work up and back, work all the way down, and work through the range of motion. So what you want to try to do is, a lot of times the muscles here, you develop adhesions, it gets stuck down, glued down, whatever you want to call it, but you need to break up those adhesions and increase the range of motion. Another thing I like to do is, even though you have shin splints, you want to focus on your calves. Okay, so you can take a foam roller and just nice and easy roll the back of the calf to break up some adhesions, increase circulation, increase the range of motion in your ankle. So a tiger tail, a stick, whatever you want to use is a great tool. You can also sit here, take your hand and just squeeze your calf if you don't have one of these, and just do some self-massage and just kind of hold your calves here and squeeze it and go through some active range of motion. You can also work on the side here, take your two thumbs, pin them together, and go through some range of motion as well. So those exercises are really good for shin splints. Some other things I like to do is I like to do some joint mobilization. If you don't have a band, okay, one exercise you can do is just lean up against a wall in your house, or if you're obviously at a track, you can lean up against the fence and work on your dorsiflexion or your range of motion. So this heel can come up, this heel has to stay flat, and just drive your foot as far forward as you can. And you want to make sure that your knee stays in line with your big toe, but the goal was to try to get your knee past your toe. Okay, a lot of coaches tell athletes not to have put your knee before your toe in squatting and different kind of exercises, but for this exercise, you're looking for range of motion, you're looking to stretch out the anterior tibialis here and work on that range of motion all the way up and all the way back. What you can do is, if you have a band, and again, this band is from resistancebandtraining.com, you can pick them up online anywhere, but I get this product from Resistance Band Training. What you want to do is go after full tension, same thing, heel stays down, back foot elevated, and go through some range of motion. Okay, all the way up and all the way back. Again, the goal is to drive your knee past your toe. If your heel raise up, then you're going too far, so the heel has to stay flat. So do anywhere from 15 to 20 reps in that direction. Be careful, you can spin around, do the same exercise here. Go forward, hold it for a second, and then release and come all the way back. Again, 15 to 20 reps, step out. When you're done, you always want to go through some range of motion without the band, and you're going to feel an increase in range of motion. This is something that should be done every day. So hopefully those few tips helped you with shin splints. Again, and even if you don't have shin splints, you should be doing this type of soft tissue work or joint mobilization at least a few days a week if you're an athlete and if you're a runner. So don't wait until you develop some injuries. Try to implement 5 minutes of stretches or soft tissue work before a workout, after a workout. But if you start to implement some of these modalities and some of these techniques, hopefully your pain will go away and you'll get back to your sport. So remember, ice first. If you need to see a doctor, then start to implement some of these exercises. Thanks, and have a great day.